Alright. How to So please, let your mind be at ease. Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. It just happens to me sometimes. I get a little late. I don't know why. I was thinking about Shigadenu the other day. How good it is.
I'll say good day to you this day of your time. How are you?
This day of your time.
How are you?
I like that a lot. That's good. Salutations.
Salutations.
I got your Earl changed, and I had them replace my air filters. Oh yeah! Look at that energy dome. Energy domus. You come in here at me like that. Cleamertons. Oh shit. What do we do? I'm just gonna give it 2 more minutes.
We're gonna have a good time.
You wanna have a good time?
Do you wanna have a good time with me? I know why you're here. It's 'cause you wanna have a good time with me.
Yeah, you wanna have a relative good time with me. A relatively good time. I'm enjoying this Bardo.
Thanks for watching.
Let me tell you, if I get to design the Bardo, it'll go a little something like this. It'll go something like that. My friends be dying. My back is achy because I've been hugging and holding toddlers all day. This is my life. Hope nobody's dying in your life. I hope that's very sad. I don't like that. I wore my gravy shirt this very day. You're in my heart. You're in my mind. This one's for you. This one's for you. Drinking these pumpkin beers. Anybody else doing that? They're good. I like them. They're good. I like it because it's good. Tobo's great. Tobo's real good. Hard to complain. Why would I? Everything's going so good. I remember ripping your shirt off with my cousin often. My old boss in London actually emailed me, as he does from time to time. He's super nice. I mean, I say boss. He's like, I don't know. He's like 2 years older than me or something. He just happened to work there before me. And he emails me from time to time with like, if he hears about a job, you know, fucking just lovely man. Real lovely guy. He emailed me. We have like a very intermittent correspondence with each other. He's busy. I'm busy. We get it. It's fine. But he'll email me if he sees a job opportunity come up. I send him pictures from out here in the States. You know, we talk about fun places to go and hike and stuff. And I don't know what came over me, but this last correspondence I had with this very good bad boy, I sent an attachment, and this attachment was the video of Eldridge Gravy's band ripping my shirt clean off my body. And you better believe I haven't received a response. So, you know. I had a pumpkin beer once whose label made a big deal about how the pumpkins they used were cut up with swords. I got a tarot reading on a camping trip this weekend, and the card that was pulled for my present was like the 10 of swords. Just 10 bloody swords stabbed into the frozen ground. And it was just like, yeah, things are not going well for you right now. Which is not true. It's not true. It is a big blaze. I will not be showing the clip, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but, you know, get to know me. Get to know me. All right, are we ready? I got my next pumpkin beer open, and it's 55555. Let's see what we can make.
I don't have any tolerance
There we go.
for lying, piss-drinking Satanists.
Here we go. Am I good? No! That's okay. It'll just take me a second to, I just gotta reboot it. Just reboot it and shoot it. It's no big deal. So, you know, it's just what happens. Sometimes it just happens. You know. Can make you listen to hell screams and intense music for a little bit. I'm hooting and hollering.
Why are they?
It's actually hooping and hollering. I don't know if you know that. This Chopo Blaster is adjusting my lumbar. That's what I want to get you. That's what I want to do to you. That's what I want to do to you tonight. Just one sec. It's just, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What are you gonna do?
Thanks for watching.
What are you gonna do?
Press the bell
I can play you this.
Subscribe for more videos.
On the road again. I just can't wait till I get back on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. And I just can't wait to get on the road again.
There you go. I watched that on the little Thursday Boy stream. I watched the Bo Daddy Harris stand-up set. Oh boy. Oh boy, was that something. Hey! All right, we did it. We did it. Yeah. Yeah, it was something. He just says stuff in a deep voice, and he, you know, it just goes. There we go.
A dog bite.
Go off, King.
For 3 years in my hole, and today I have wrinkles in the opening again. Stay educated, sheep.
Yeah, I just can't wait to get home again. Like, is his voice deep, or does he just doesn't let a lot of air through? I don't know. Just horny talking, huh? Okay. Love when a guy says stuff. It's my favorite genre. Welcome to Hold Space for My Tribe. I am Mind Chopo. I'm going to be taking you through some of the internet today. Wouldn't that just be the way if he actually was as good in bed as made him seem? I hope he is. I wish him the best. Honestly, I mean, got no reason to hate the guy. I mean, he seemed to be maybe a bit hesitant to, receive certain kinds of intimacy, but that's fine. That's well within his right, you know. His septum is horizontal instead of vertical. A horizontal septum. Not something I've pictured before. Well, let's not waste too much time here. I have some questions. I'm hoping that maybe I can find someone to help me answer such questions. I feel confident I can, so let's just hit it, huh?
Thanks for calling the Billy Graham Question Response Center. This is Carol. How can we help you?
Hi, Carol. I'm just wondering, are you is this the right number to call if I have some questions about my faith?
About well, we refer people to their pastor.
Okay.
We pray here, but we refer to the pastor and to a pastor. Do you have a pastor?
I don't have sorry, I wanted to make a joke here. I actually don't know if it's appropriate, but I have neither a pastor nor a pasture, if you can believe it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I mean the pastor. I got it.
I don't have a pastor.
We do have. I remember that one.
You never heard that?
No, I never heard that. That's pretty good. I would share that with someone for sure.
I hope that you work at the Billy Graham Ministry prayer line, and no one made a pastor joke.
No, sure have it.
Oh boy.
But do you have access to the internet?
I do.
Great. So we have that's part of this ministry. We have a great website reference that is set up where you enter your address.
Uh-huh.
And it will give you a list of churches that are located close to where you live.
Mm.
And the list of these churches are pretty much on the same biblical principles as the ministry. So, a church can't call us and say, "Hey, put us on the list." It's not that kind of list.
Oh.
So, yes.
Well, that's good. I guess I just
yeah.
I'd like to talk to someone now, and I feel I did try calling some churches in my area. They're closed.
Oh, so yeah, we don't have here on staff. This is our call center, so there's no one here. Yeah, on staff.
Okay.
Here.
Is there? I know you have the prayer line. Will that put me in touch with a person, or is that sort of a pre-recorded prayer that I would receive?
Oh no. I mean, we pray here, and they pray also, but there's no one to ask questions.
Okay. I mean, it's a real easy question, and I mean, have you been when were you saved?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
What is it that you mean?
Well, I pray often. I'm a bit new to the faith. But I've been, things haven't quite been going my way. And
yeah.
But my nephew, he's about 6 years old. I mean, he's just a little blessing. I mean, he's truly he's the best. But things seem to be going pretty good for him. And he prays. And so I was just wondering if, but when he prays to Christ, he says it Christ, because he doesn't quite have his R's yet.
Yeah.
Which is cute. But I was just...
That is.
It's very cute. It's very cute. So he says, "Please, Jesus Christ, help me, do this or whatever." And he gets what he wants. So I kind of just wondering if there's anything to that. Do you think that maybe it's actually pronounced Christ and I'm just saying it wrong?
Well, it is nice, the way that's the way he pronounces it. As you said, until he can, get to the point where he can pronounce Christ with the R. But it's not based on your pronunciation.
It's not.
It's based on the heart.
Oh.
God looks on the heart of each human, and that's what it is based on, that relationship.
Based on the relationship, you're saying.
Through Christ, to God Almighty. So each person, has to have their own unique relationship with God. Jesus is the only way, truth, and life. John 14:6.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's a little hard to hear you now.
Oh, my apologies.
Oh, there we go. You're back.
So that's based on, John 14:6, where it says Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Yes. So sometimes people, they'll say, they've given their life to God Almighty, and they've given their life to Christ, and they'll say, well, I don't feel like I'm saved, or I don't feel, I don't feel like I did right today. So it's not based on feelings. It's based on, the word when he says, those who believe in my name, I call them the children of God.
This is the thing. There's all this stuff about the name. And so I just feel like it's like, oh, well, I got to get the name right. And like, you ever look at, like the Declaration of Independence or something, and they like, instead of an S, there's an F, and like there's like letters used to be different. So I was just wondering if maybe R, they didn't use R's then, I mean, it was in a different language. So it's just like, well, what if I'm talking to the wrong, what if I'm saying the wrong thing? So, and my nephew, he wanted, he wants to watch his iPad, and his parents say no, and then he does his prayer, and then he gets to watch the iPad, but it's to Christ. So I don't know. I mean, I'm real big into like the law of attraction too, but I just think that there's power in the word.
Yes, it is. And there's a scripture, and I'm going to give you that website that we have that's very encouraging, and it will answer a lot of questions that you have.
Okay, yeah, because like if I type in the website wrong, I don't get to the right website. So it's like if it's actually pronounced Keist, then I want to know if it's pronounced Keist. You know what I mean?
Oh no, you're just more simplified than you're making it. So if you go to billygraham.org. And once you get to your page there, and you see the title "Grow Your Faith," and once you hover your mouse over that, you see "Going Farther." Click that, and you'll see common questions.
Okay, is this a common question?
Oh no! I was just saying that you have some questions. I was just letting you know that's one area there that you'll see common questions, basics of Christianity, and also find a church. That's very
okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your help. You've been very helpful. I'll go to the Billy site, and hey, have a good night, and hey, I guess go with Keist. Okay.
Yeah, you call us back when your nephew pronounces the word pasture.
I will call you back when my nephew he finally gets his R's. I mean, that threw me for a loop. The kid's getting seconds of ice cream, and everything works out for him. And he's saying Keist, so I just didn't know. Okay, thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome. God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.
Well, so I guess that's that then, huh? Wonderful. Well, let's get blessed while we're here.
It's a dark and gloomy day here in the UK.
Wow.
Let's sing a song.
Why not? Hey, thank you. Fuck. Hey. Whoa. Thanks for that. Give me a blaze, huh? Keist. She laughed in my face. No one had ever said, I don't have a pasture. Huh? I have a hard time believing that. I think she was just trying to gas me up. Yeshua. Sure. Call me back when your nephew can say Christ the right way. Okay. Staten. Gord. It's a dark and gloomy day in the UK. Where do you get a zipper like that with a big triangle? What if you had a what if you had a zipper with a triangle that big on the fly on your jeans, on your Levi's, huh? How would you feel about that? How would you feel about walking around with a big old triangle dangling off your stuff? Have you seen the video where she walks you through her terrible diet? No. Biscuitian meatballs, huh? What does she eat? That's funny. That's an interesting.
I've been obsessed with belts for a long time.
melody.
I wear a belt every day.
Yeah, me too. I feel like I like getting a peek behind the curtain. You know what I mean? I like seeing behind the scenes stuff. Comment in the chat your favorite DVD special features BTS. I got a few. I remember watching the film Orange County on DVD and falling asleep on the couch, waking up, and that thing would just start playing the spec feature, right? With no prompting. This DVD player we had. Bloopers, sure. I like the bloopers. What else? I mean, there's such a variety, but today we're going to get a special kind of behind-the-scenes look. This video is called "My Camera Fell Off of a Cliff. My plans and work are ruined." So, the commentary. When was the last time, like the Dan in Real Life DVD commentary? Who does the Sex and the City commentary? Just like the director or whatever, the creator of the show? There's no way they got the stars of the show to hang out with each other, right? Don't they all hate each other? Anything with Patty Harris would be fun to see BTS, but they're not really. I mean, they're still making DVDs, right? Seems like a waste. My friend had a TV in his room growing up that was stuck in the air and the buttons were broken, so you could only watch the special features of a season 2 disc of Viva La Bam. Well, so let's get a behind-the-scenes view of our friend Nathan. This is heavy, okay? I'll read this to you. I know you can't see the whole thing. All of my camera and film equipment fell off of a cliff in Sedona and broke. Not only this, but I lost over 30 videos that were saved on the SD card within the camera. I lost all of my work and realized my channel has not been succeeding lately anyways. This video is my response to share with my friends who have been with me on Vibes and Frequencies for so long. Filmed on my phone. Mighty Boosh, yeah, Commentary on this is Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap has a lot of good DVD bits. Well, here we go. I hope you're ready for this. So, did you hear that? It's just right at the top of the video. So he left that audio on for some reason. And then check this out.
What is up, and welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies video.
Okay. So, all right. Couple of things. Just a couple of things, just right off the top. So yeah, he's like really coughing, and I hope he's all right. You know, nothing wrong with being a little under the weather. It happens, but you do have to remember to cut out that audio of you coughing or clearing your throat or heaving, as it were. You gotta remember to do that. Also, where was he? Like what? Why? And then also, we've got a very bright light pointed straight at him. It's kind of harsh. Let's watch it again.
What is up, and welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies.
What is up? Just like the look on his face, too.
What is up, and welcome back to another Vibes and Frequencies video.
Okay. He looks very sunburned. He's a little down on his luck, which I don't mean to make light of that. He just took a huge shit and walked down without washing his hands. There's a vibe. There's something going on here that, you know, I don't really know if we're gonna get to the bottom of it, but there's something going on here. Pay attention to the camera movement. Yeah, exactly. Crust Lord is on this tip already. So there's a cameraman because the camera is following him. I'm not so sure. It kind of seems like one of those Facebook portal things that is supposed to follow you around. I've never seen one of those in real life, but this is my guess. Let's take in a little bit more of this. But yeah, the camera movement is a little bit weird. There's no camera shake, which makes me think it's not being handheld. And then who would control a tripod in this way? It certainly seems to be automated in some way. He's got some kind of mechanical support happening.
My name is Nathan, and in this video, I'm going to be talking all about profound excitement and basically how you are the perceiver of whether an event is either positive or negative, and you choose the energy that cultivates from every single situation in your life. Now, you might think that on one hand, there are certain situations.
A lot of camera movement, right? Lot of camera movement. It's a little weird, and again, he's on this whole thing about you know, how that nothing is good or bad. It's just your opinion of it. There's some truth to that, but he's doing this thing that it's like he keeps talking about this. It kind of makes me feel like maybe something's not going so good for Nathan.
That are just so bad they have to be bad. But the truth is that you are the one who perceives whether you're going to take this event in a good way or a bad way. Now, whatever event does happen, if you choose to take it in a negative way, consider that you're building this negative-oriented momentum, and you're driving yourself deeper and deeper into a reality that's manifested based out of this negativity.
Got a real good view up his nose right now as well, and then, yeah. And this is kind of my view. What I love about this camera movement is that it looks like how I would be seeing him if I were in the room, because I am shaking my head back and forth. No. This is Pokemon. Poker Robot. Welcome to Hold Space for My Tribe.
Now, the choice is absolutely yours, and it always is, as if it ever wasn't. It's always yours in terms of not necessarily what's happening outside of you, but how you take it. So the key
video is mirrored, yeah.
Video is that it doesn't matter what happens in life. It matters what you do with what happens in life. And this is what makes all the difference and can really differentiate certain groups of people from succeeding or failing, which are, again, just both based on your own definitions of what this even is in the first place. An example from my life of an event that I could have taken negatively, that could have really upset me and derailed me, but instead, choosing to experience it in a positive way has actually created an insane momentum that actually helped me with my career. Where this event that took place literally was a debilitating career experience.
Literally debilitating.
I've actually used it in a positive way. Is that you picking up things over there? It's okay. Keep the noise down, woman. Just kidding. This is Ruby. She's coming in to say, oh, she's just running right by. Anyways, what happened in my...
Kind of strange. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, clearly, you know, he's joking, but there was there was something. There was something there. I don't know. I actually perform piss magic rituals regularly to make bad things happen to Nathan. Seems like it's working. But yeah, weird moment of Nathan's behavior there. My butt just tightened during that exchange. It's a little weird. Seems like something you'd want to edit out. You know, maybe start the video over. You're only 2 minutes in. I don't know. Something going on there.
Experience is I was literally on a cliff in Sedona.
Literally on a cliff.
Tripod set up. I had my super...
I think he was also figuratively on a cliff. Is the thing. He's stressing. No, I was literally on a cliff, not just figuratively. But, you know.
Expensive gimbal that I walk around carrying. It's a stabilizer. It can do all these amazing different things. I had my super expensive, super nice vlogging camera set up on there, and I was in the middle of making a video, and one of the screws wasn't tight enough, so basically what was holding up all this weight up here allowed it to bend down and flex this way, and it all fell off of a cliff, literally. And
Ruby sneaking by.
My SIM card broke. My little card with so many videos that I had made.
SD card, we got you.
I lost everything that I had been putting so much into. Now, in that moment, for some reason, I'm not sure why, I just began to laugh. And if I did investigate why, I think it's probably because I've had enough derailing, devastating kind of experiences happen enough in my life that I found some humor in it now, and I think it's kind of funny. But what ended up happening is it's actually...
Another giggle there. You know, I think that's pretty normal to, you know, something real bad happens to laugh about it. I mean, if it's that's pretty comical, you know. That's it is pretty funny. All your shit falls off a cliff. You do laugh. I think that's pretty normal. It's not. You don't need a crystal to do that.
Actually ended up being a really positive thing for me. I could have fixated and taken this as a negative thing. I could have negatively oriented myself with this. I also could have chosen to say, the universe is giving me a sign. The universe doesn't want me to make videos anymore. And then my timeline would have unfolded in a completely different way, because I would have been saying, I'm giving myself a message. My higher self is giving me a message to stop doing this, right? This is just a huge emphasis to our power that everything is happening, but you really are the one in that moment.
Rosie's on it. See, now this is thick. I want to watch the video where the camera falls off. Yeah, me too. I definitely want to watch that. Yeah, this is thick. There's a lot here, because this is the kind of man who will tell you that your pain is a message from your higher self or your future self or whatever. But then we get this thing where it's like, okay, yeah, so how do you interpret things that happen to you? Mystic Theurge. You know, this is the thing. If you start this solipsistic thought pattern that you get into, where everything's about you and everything has meaning for you and all that stuff, I think people's ability to create meaning is beautiful and very, very important, and you kind of need it, because I don't think that you're going to find a lot of meaning outside, just empirically. That's difficult. But you start to get in this thing, and then, obviously he's making more videos, so he didn't interpret it as the universe saying, hey, stop making videos, which, if a toothache is a sign that you're not really being yourself, then I would say your camera falling off a cliff is maybe a sign from your higher self that you shouldn't be making these videos. So we're getting into this thing here that is just very you know, people talk about synchronicity. People talk about your destiny or your fate, or your spirit guides and seeing angel numbers and stuff. And I just think that once you open that can of worms, you're playing on some different terms now. You now live in a universe where your perception in a way does create your experience because you think that it matters. Whereas you could just be like, well, my camera fell off a cliff because I did it wrong, so I guess I'll get another one if I feel like doing that, or I won't. You know, or where you have a toothache and you're like, yeah, wasn't taking care of my teeth, or something happened to one of my teeth. That maybe it's not my fault at all, but he did not get paid in worms. So I think this is very interesting to watch someone grapple with their own worldview in this way, especially someone who preaches as hard as this person does about perception being, or misfortune being a result of your perception, or misfortune being your fault somehow, and how nothing is good or bad. So I like this a lot, to watch somebody kind of do the mental gymnastics that are the fee for adopting such a worldview.
Who perceives and chooses what these things actually mean to you. So for me, this has ended up being an extremely positive thing because I'm filming on my phone again. And I know that sounds weird, why that would be positive, going from a really expensive camera to a phone.
It's not positive for me. This is much harder to watch.
But this is positive for me because it has reminded me and taken me back to the first year when I actually started making videos. And it's reminded me of the energy and a certain vibration that was in me that caused me to want to do this in the first place. It's reminded me what this really is about. It's not about selling anything. It's not about making it look super fancy. It's not about teaching anybody anything. It's about me here in this moment, and this is what I love doing, and it doesn't matter what I do or don't have. This is what I love to do. You see what I'm saying? It's reminded me of that it doesn't matter. Boom. Huge positive momentum that's actually been helping me to expand and move forward. But you can see how I could have chosen to perceive this in a negative way, say everything is against me, or I could have chosen to say that it's time for me to stop entirely. You see what I'm saying? Now, not only this, but as you can see, this is actually, I'm going to be honest, what inspired this video. See how this follows me? How dope is that? I just got this thing. 50 bucks, baby. Literally 50 bucks. This thing will track and follow me. I've never had anything like this before, and I have to say, I absolutely love it. It's causing me to want to walk around like, ooh.
That was an orb. We saw the orb.
You see? How about you come over here? Let me show you something over here. You like that? See how awesome this is? It can literally follow me all the way around the room. You see this is a ring light. I got this too to kind of help my phone quality go up. And this is just show and tell right now. I'm very excited to be showing you, hey, follow me this way. You see how dope that is? Come on, come back around. How cool is that? So this thing will just follow me around and see
pretty cool.
Everything that happens in our lives. It doesn't have to be negative. Because
no, wait, but I want to kill this man. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Hey, also, by the way, don't forget how to use your groan tube.
There. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate how this musical groan tube works. See, it's yellow and green. You flip it over. See how the things spin down.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just don't want anybody to forget how to do that. I mean, sometimes you might find yourself in a situation, you got a groan tube, but you're like, how do I do this? It's, yeah, that's how you do it, just so you know. Let's talk a little bit, we got some short things. Let's check out some more Peter Kane Frogman content. I'm liking his new direction with the Frogman.
My species and other species have been coming to this planet for a long time. My species is unlike
Frogman's hot.
Species.
Frogman's looking real good to me.
Do not have a skeletal system We are more like a plant. Because we are different is not a reason to be afraid.
Contrapasto.
Are here to help. When I am hydrated,
It's not Pokemon.
all
It's close though.
planet will know all. My species.
I mean, Peter's doing some cool stuff. Let's check out with Obvious.
Is astral projection evil? Saying that astral projection is evil is like calling a pencil evil. You can either write horrible or mean things to someone, or you can write a love letter or something very kind. So no, astral projection is not evil. Is astral projection...
It's just, I mean, the garbage that is being created today. You know, it's funny. It's funny to me. You used to, when you could only record things on magnetic tape, people were a little more selective about stuff they made. The Penis Mightier. I'm a big fan of Celebrity Jeopardy. You can always make a Celebrity Jeopardy reference in my chat. I'll allow it. There's another Obvious, once again obeying the rule that if something looks like another thing, it is that thing. King Tut and the top of a human brain. Of course, using our favorite song there. That's good. It's a welcome addition. Let's get into a Night God video. I like this a lot. It's about werewolves or a dog man or let me know in the chat. You know, what do you want me to do? You want me to call another prayer line? Popcorn Braden, you know. Pure Moods 1986. We've talked about it.
I just shit. So today was a good day. Worked out, showered, decided to go get me something to eat.
Yeah, showered.
Came back from getting me something to eat. I spotted a black dog. Nothing crazy about that. It's a street animals every day. All the shit, right?
Okay, it's hard. It's very hard to understand. Said she saw a black dog after she worked out.
So I'm thinking that's a big ass black dog. As soon as I think that the dog get up.
Also, we've got this nice subtitle thing left over from the template here, which is nice, which we like.
Turns into a man and start walking.
The dog turned into a man and started walking.
I know it sounds crazy, yep. You heard me. I just seen a dog turn into a man and start walking. Granted, I'm hot, but I make edibles. Those are my edibles that I'm on. I've been making them for years. I ain't never had no bad trips, seeing nothing.
She's high, but she makes her own edibles.
I've been good, and I ain't even high. You heard it right. I just saw a dog turn into a man. You seen this shit. I seen it with my own eyes. I seen
Look at him just nodding along.
So, I was scrolling through my feed on TikTok one day when I stumbled on...
Look at, he's wearing some lip gloss, perhaps? Or he just drank some Hawaiian fruit punch straight out of the jug. I don't know.
That video. Of course, you know me, had to immediately duet it, and I had to look into it. So, shapeshifters, right? Shapeshifters. It's something I haven't really touched on my platform because, I'm not gonna lie, they sounded somewhat far-fetched. I mean, at the end of the day, really, you saw a dog and it shapeshifted into a man. Like, that is a hard thing to believe.
Yeah, that's rough. I always
preach on my platform, keep an open mind to everything. So, I started to dig a little bit. And it turns out, native shamans and native tribes have talked about shapeshifters for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Yeah, the skinwalker thing.
They relate them as demonic entities, but I want to say that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I immediately had to duet the video. I shared it because she tells her story with such conviction. You can't not somewhat believe her. So I took the video, posted it on YouTube, and let it garner some views.
I do like that Mr. Frisbee is now doing all of his videos with a full face of makeup. It's good.
For a few hours. Then I decided to go back and check it out. It had like 30,000 to 40,000 views. The amount of comments was what actually surprised me. So I decided to check them out. And what I found, testimony after testimony of people who recently have experienced the same thing. So I figured I'd go ahead.
Please note, no disclaimer at the beginning of this Night God video. No, this is based on fiction, okay? This is He thinks this is fact.
And share some of these stories with you guys in my comment section.
Dogman stories.
The viewer and give you guys some perspective.
Comment section Dogman stories. That's what you're coming to me for. That and prank calls to people who work at call centers who seem really nice and who are very patient with me. That's the kind of content that I'm dishing out. Okay? You got a problem with that? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair for you to have a problem with that. I'm open to criticism. I'll try to get better. Here we go.
It gives people a voice that they never had previously. I mean, how many people admit these kind of stories? Hardly any. But when you get like people in the comment section who have experienced the same things, there's an openness about it that's just pure. So sit back, listen to some of these stories, y'all, and let me know what y'all think in the comments section.
Shaving between his nose and his mustache. That's a hard area to get to. It's tough. Shaving your face isn't fun. I don't like doing it. I got the Phillips one blade. It's good enough. It's fine.
And I'll get back with you after the video. This was one of the first accounts and it had over 100 likes. It's from Michael Angel. It says, when my birth father lived in the Bahamas, he was invited to have dinner with the local witch doctor. And while the two of them were eating, they heard noises coming from under the house that was on stilts and had open spaces in the floorboards to sweep the dirt out that got tracked in. My dad mentioned, it sounds like you have a pig under the house. And his host said, it would seem that way, but it's actually a spy. They went outside and his host grabbed a broom and started beating the pig with it, telling the pig, never come back. And suddenly, the pig turned into a man and ran off into the night. He saw a lot of strange things while living there in his late 20s and learned how to do a lot of things as well that he passed on to me. It's always surprised me that so much knowledge has always been available to the masses, and yet people know so little. And this isn't the only story you'll hear.
People know so little. You know, knowledge of my dad watching a guy spank a pig, you know, that's around. You can find that information, but people know so little. All right? My daddy watched a man spank a pig, and that pig was a man. But people these days know so little.
That involves native tribes and their witch doctors. Check it out. This following story is my favorite of all the comments. You can just tell the way he tells it and what he says. How could he be lying? My great-grandfather was a Navajo elder. He lived without electricity or running water for his whole life. He raised sheep and chickens. It gets so dark out there at night. He told me a man would look in his windows at night. He said his legs were dog legs. He lived in a hogan. It had no front door. The door was just a blanket. The windows had no glass, only cloths. So I could not sleep there at night. I slept during the day. He told me he knew a medicine man who used to be his friend when they were kids. He said he went to his place once while they were having a ceremony. He described to me what he saw. He said 3 men sat around the fire. They threw herbs and leaves into the fire as they chanted. One man held a coyote skin or a coyote's body in front of the fire like a bull holds a red flag.
Thanks for sipping the piss. I don't know what that notification means. And yeah, absolutely. Witch doctor not. Wait, don't say that. Wait, I don't like to say that.
As they chanted, something came out of the fire and launched itself through the skin. The fire spirit and the coyote became one. It ran straight into the darkness. He said it was the fastest thing he had ever seen. He said it was a demon that possessed dead flesh. He said those men wanted to harm or scare someone. So
I do like, so this comment is from someone named Jim Beam. And I do like how Night God is correcting some of the grammar as he reads. I would do the same thing. But I like that we're sort of getting an assessment of Night God's command of the English language, which is just a fun thing to see with anybody. We're all somewhere, we're all at some point with that, you know, our grammar, our education. It's fine. But it's just nice to get a peek behind the curtain of Night God's RV.
They sent the demon to terrorize them. When they get scared, who do they come to? You got it. The medicine man that witches them to begin with. Then he takes their money for some herbs and ritual prayer advice. Two-faced snakes, using witchcraft to take from the good people. These things are real. If you've seen a dog man, it is not a man, it is a demon straight from the under. It can't harm you if you're pure. I mean, y'all, that's as authentic as it gets. It can't harm you if you're pure. That is crazy. This one is another native account.
Fun.
Shapeshifters. Ask a native person about this who is deep into the culture. Before residential schools, this shapeshifting was taught in our culture. To children under...
Wait. Holy fucking shit. Did you know Night God charges 1K to make you an Insta Reel or TikTok? Nice. Yeah, if you peer... Listen, if you peer, you can't... The dog man can't peer at you. That's the thing.
4 years old. Everyone was taught this, but only the gifted could keep this gift past 4 years old. It helped us hunt and scout, helped us stay connected to the earth and everything in it. My grandfather once took me hunting. He turned into a damn turkey, a wild turkey, for a few seconds before shifting back into himself. We came home with 5 turkeys that night, enough for us and 4 other families. That's how you're supposed to use that gift. But then you get people who do it to spy, etc., put bad juju on someone, or scare them into thinking they're crazy. I mean, come on, the number of shared stories?
My grandpa turned into a goddamn turkey.
Absolutely astonishing. Just wait, there's more. I believe her because we say hi, and all the Muppets who don't understand what hi is, and only a few of us take our most highs seriously. She is one of us for sure. I have a sort of experience happening on and off lately. You know midges you get in the summer? They don't live long, right? They're tiny and normally annoying. Well, this one has been in my room for months. It stayed in one part of my room. Last night I asked, "Are you a fairy?"
Gape shifting.
It flew up to my hand. I put my finger out. I had chocolate on my finger. Do you want some? It came up to my finger, then shot off. Times are changing. Times are changing. Have you noticed how smart animals are getting? Cats doing sign language with deaf owners. Huskies having conversations with birds, making home with people. Times are changing. A couple of weeks ago, right outside my bedroom.
Animals are getting a little too smart. Okay? I put chocolate on my finger. You want some? Times are changing. Times are changing. That Rick and Morty turkey episode, I like that a lot. I think that's a very Rob Schraub. I bet he wrote that one. I can't remember if he did or not, but I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's just fun, you know. Night God's just fun. What can I say? He's just having fun with these stories.
It was around 2 a.m., I want to say. I heard cats going crazy. So many stray cats where I live, and sometimes possums and raccoons, so it's not new to hear them fight sometimes.
I like that this is pivoting into animals are getting too smart.
One night, I was just about to fall asleep when I heard cats, but not the usual sounds they make. Usually it's one cat or another making the noise out of fear or fighting. But this time, every cat was making noises. When all of a sudden I heard a loud thump. Something fell from the tree. At first I thought it was an animal, but the noise made that followed the thump was so scary. It was a deep gasp for air, but between human-like sounds and or a big creature. Not gonna lie, once I heard all the cats prior to the thump, I froze with fear. Felt very uneasy, so after hearing the thump, I heard a gasp for air. Like I said, the sound that was made was kind of human-like, so I peeked out my window. What I saw till this day, nobody will ever convince me that I didn't see. An animal/human, maybe a wolfman, maybe not. But when I looked out the window, I saw a dog, stray dog, or a coyote, trying to recover from the fall. But when it stood up, it was human.
It was human.
I saw the animal form as well, and heard it gasp for air, so human-like. We believe it to be maybe a shaman. Oh, and did I mention? The putazo thump didn't match the size of the animal, as if something bigger fell. We also have neighbors who worship death, so we try to keep distant but respectful to all. Peace and love.
We also have neighbors who worship death, so...
Wow, y'all. Wow. I'm absolutely speechless at the number of people that are claiming to see shapeshifters. I had no idea. All right, y'all.
Icky thump. Good. I'm always up for an icky thump reference. That's really... Give me more icky thump in the chat.
Check it out. 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine was at a wedding reception. Calls a relative at night, scared out of his mind. Said he seen a couple looking white as ghosts. They didn't seem right. Later, noticed a horse hoof and a chicken claw on the feet of the guy dancing. He immediately started vomiting and had to be taken out of the reception. That was the friend. There was no sign of the couple soon after. They just vanished from the reception. Others remember seeing the estranged couple but can't recall what happened to them soon after the incident occurred. He had only told just a few people about seeing the animal feet. When I was told this, I remember hearing a similar story as a kid. The story was in the 1950s out of South Texas.
If you got a horse hoof,
then
you barf.
Truly baffling.
If you come to my wedding with a chicken foot and a horse hoof on your feet and you barf, you're married now. You get to marry my husband.
I don't know what to think of it all, but really cool stories, y'all. I can't believe the number of people on YouTube who shared this with me. And
it's crazy. I mean, the number of people, sticky lump, the number of people on YouTube these days is just really getting out of hand. I mean,
and share with each other. Truly awe-inspiring. Truly awe-inspiring. This is what we need more of. This is why I do it, man. I really do this for you guys. To give
what
you
we
guys
need more of.
A place where you can go, where there's like-minded people, where people won't think you're crazy.
Hey, man, click like and thump. Click icky and thump.
Where people won't criticize you for telling your story. That's what it's all about, man. This is what it's all about. So I'm going to try and start maybe doing this once in a while when I get good comments in the comment section.
Yeah.
With people who share their stories.
That's what it's all about.
Make sure y'all comment. And on this video, comment if you've seen shapeshifters or have had any experiences yourself. I'd love to read them, and maybe I'll even share them.
Possibly.
I thought sharing that video would turn into this, but I'm glad it did. All right, y'all convinced me. I'll share one more.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, back in 2008, I was driving wreckers and rollbacks for a towing company pretty far back in the woods in East Tennessee in Dolly Parton's hometown. One night, we're coming back in with a car on.
Please tell me this story ends with Dolly Parton being a shapeshifter. That's why her boobs are so big, because she can, you know what I mean? Because this is the thing, like, you wouldn't want to deal with boobs that big all the time. It could cause you some back issues. It could be kind of a problem. So she shapeshifts when she performs or goes on TV. She can make her breasts grow.
Back. A big, giant black dog, black as coal, ran into the middle of the road and stopped and looked at me as I slammed on the brakes and almost lost the car in the back. He come off his front paws, stood straight up, and was butt naked as a jaybird and ran across the road into the woods. Was told that I was insane and needed to be locked up. I know what I saw, and I didn't use any drugs or even drink at the time. So what happened? It stood up on two legs and then shapeshifted into a man, completely naked, and then ran into the woods.
Yeah.
Sober as a bird. People told him he was crazy. Shared it with this platform. Awesome, bro. And of course, y'all, as always, for entertainment purposes only, some of the stuff is by witness account, so it's subjective and may or may not be true. So please, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't want to scare anybody at the end of the day, but I want to enlighten people and put stuff out there that isn't conventional. It's out of the box. A little fringe, a little cringe, but end of the day, this is what we're here for.
Little fringe, little cringe. Oh boy.
Y'all enjoyed it. I got more good stuff coming, more fire content. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about all of the sea animals that seem to be congregating on shores all over the world. Some of them, even whales that are beaching themselves.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenon that nobody really knows.
I think his accounts kept getting deleted or blocked or locked or whatever, you know, a little fringe, a little cringe.
What is going on? I mean, it's not that it hasn't happened in the past, but it's definitely something weird. There's obviously something going on in our oceans. Could it be that the ice caps are melting?
If anybody knows about our oceans, it's fucking Night God. Because he stays up all night on Google Earth. He's a Google Earther. And he's looking for pyramids down there, and he's finding them.
And one claim was that it was opening up deep sea, oceanic caverns and allowing creatures to come through. But at the end of the day, nobody knows. It could be sonar testing. It's all up in the air at this point. It's a tragedy. It's devastating to see some beach whales. But
can of mead.
Get your guys' opinions. In the end, what do y'all think this was? Was it skinwalkers? Was it werewolves? What was it? Shapeshifters? Let me know in the comments. Y'all know the drill. Stay in the love, stay in the light, treat others how you want to be treated. Night God, out.
What is this background? Let's read some of the comments. I love this. Finally, people are realizing that while some stories seem hard to believe, can that many people really be interested in lying about this stuff? Having your name dragged through the mud, being called crazy, what's in it for them? Nothing. I believe most people, and I'm glad it's all coming out. Yeah, and then shapeshifter stories, even more. Nothing like some night god and witchcraft to get the day going. I love this channel and don't ever stop. I love it. I love it. All these stories that we got told, vampires, werewolves, goblins, etc., are for real. It's ceteral. I said it's ceteral. Okay. What's the end of the day for him? He is the night god. He truly is. I love him. I love him, okay? I love him. Daddy, I love him. All right. Well, I'm going to switch to the Patreon. I got started a little bit late. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. But do not you ever leave me, okay? Please don't ever leave me. We go to this link now at this part of the show, unless somebody wants to call in and talk to me. I'll always entertain that. I'll allow you a minute or two to make that decision for yourself. Why do you hate our love? Why? Chopus, love to see you. Love to see you too. Thanks for coming through. All right. If you miss me, you do have to kiss me, but if you break it, you do have to buy it. We know these are the rules. All right. You will call? I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you live on the air. I will do that. All right. Man of his word. If I can access this. Whoa!
Oh, namaste the yoni, blessed be mine chopo.
State your intention.
I intend to drink an Okanagan Valley in British Columbia apple cider and a honey mead for my Jewish peeps on Rosh Hashanah second night, or it's technically over, but Shana Tova.
Shana Tova! I did send a friend of mine a Bitmoji with those very words just yesterday morning.
That's it. The occult art of Bitmoji are not something I know enough about, and so now that I know that there's a Rosh Hashanah Shana Tova Bitmoji.
It's nothing breaks the ice like a non sequitur Bitmoji. Let me tell you. Big fan.
Yeah, no kidding. There are some good ones. I mean, oh man, now I want to be like your friend on Snapchat or whatever Bitmoji platform you use, so we can send each other Bitmoji.
I'm just texting. I'm just texting.
That's all you're doing? Okay, well, I'm going to have to look that up.
You're going to have to do you have Bitmoji?
I do. I have Bitmoji. My Bitmoji avatar is wearing a sport coat and slacks, which is how I dress normally, and has a witch hat on. I managed to, but it's an older model. The newer models don't have it.
Is that you normally dress with a sport coat and slacks?
Yeah, I actually have a summer sport coat that's lighter, and I have a fall sport coat that I'm wearing now. You know, I basically always look like a professor.
Love that. I mean, I like to dress a little nice. Talk to me about
Oxford collar shirt.
When did you start doing that?
Oh gosh, well I've been graduated from undergrad 2010.
Yeah.
Started grad school 2011. Started my doctorate 2013. I probably started doing it probably by 2016 to look more professional in the academic environ. Thank you, Gen X VR swagger.
Yeah. I get that. That's nice. I like that. I just didn't. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I just.
Yeah. And Old Navy started putting out a very nice line of slacks and Oxford collar dress shirts, whereas I'm not small enough for H&M. Let's just be honest. Ethel, I don't have patched elbows. No, I guess, I don't know if what I'm wearing is tweed, but it's not patched elbows. I'm sorry.
Call into my show and tell me how you dress. It's the game we're playing now.
It's a good game. Well, I was talking about how my Bitmoji avatar dresses, but I dress basically like my Bitmoji avatar, and it is in that order. The Bitmoji is the platonic eidolon, and I am but the imperfect copy.
I like it. I like it that way. What can you tell me about Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah.
So, it's the lunar equinox. Now, you say to me, Grim Mystic Theurge, the equinox is not lunar. And yes, it's not. But, you know, the ancient peoples, it was kind of close enough. So when you have the waxing crescent moon first appears in the sign of Libra, is the Jewish month of Tishrei, which begins there's actually 2 Jewish New Years, because the other one's at the other equinox, but because the waxing crescent moon was in Libra on Sunday night, yes, therefore it's the beginning of the lunar month of Libra, which is close enough to the equinox that, hey, it's the lunar equinox, and therefore it's the Jewish New Year.
Love it. Okay, great.
Oh, Gen X VR, I don't have a cape, but I do have my doctoral gown and hood. The hood's kind of a cape.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Dude, when I went to England, everyone in all the churches, actually I was in Scotland to be fair, but at UK, when everyone in all the churches, whether Presbyterian Church of Scotland or Episcopal Church of Scotland, everyone had a hood on, even the guy playing the organ.
Nice.
I'm like, dude, why aren't we our hood game in North America, especially here in Canada, where we can at least pretend to be British? Why is our hood game so bad?
I can't remember the context in which the screaming purple orb that I hang out with said this, but there was some we've seen the image of little Thursday boy at the Renaissance Fair in the Discord. Have we all seen this?
Oh no, I've not seen this, and I'm not familiar with the screaming purple orb.
It might not be clear to everyone that this is Little Thursday Boy, but there's a picture of Little Thursday Boy dressed for a Renaissance fair wearing a robe. And somehow we unearthed the information that can be, like, the hood part can be called a mantle or a cowl. But I think it's a cowl if you're a novice.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
So that's a fun way to differentiate, like, well, it's a cowl if you're a novice, you know. And to call someone a novice, I don't know if I've ever called somebody a novice.
That's a good question. You know, like, amateur is a word that gets misused because it just means one who loves. It means you're not doing it for money or professionally. It doesn't mean you're bad at it.
Just means one who loves.
Yeah, you love what you do. You're not getting paid for it necessarily. A novice, it's interesting because, I mean, to even be a novice is a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, it definitely has this quality of, like, you know, I mean, novice is essentially a fancy way of saying noob.
Yes. I recently saw in a Google review, someone said, if you don't rate this bridge 5 stars, you're a noob, and they spelled noob N-U-B-E, which I like.
Wow. That's almost close to nub, which is unfortunately what you have where your sacred fallows used to be.
My nub. Yeah, you can bring up my nub. That's fine. Do you encounter novices in your line of work or in your studies? Would you ever refer to someone as a novice?
That's actually an interesting question. So, I have so the broader term for people who are in holy orders, or basically monks and nuns, is, and this is a term I had to learn, a-religious. Not like lack of religious, but like a person who is in religio, bound together in community.
In religio? That's
where the word religion comes from. It means you're bound together, and so religious in, like, the Roman Catholic and I assume the Eastern Orthodox Church actually refers only to people who are monks or nuns.
Huh.
I had no idea because Protestants call themselves religious, but no, or anyone who believes in anything spiritual is called religious. But yeah, novitiate, Pop-Tart, absolutely, noob. So I've met, there are Anglican monks and nuns, and I have met them, and there are technically apparently Lutheran monks and nuns out there. Never met them. I've met Jesuits, and I met a friar, a really nice friar, Franciscan friar at the Parliament of World Religions in 2018. And I'm a cheeky bastard, and I call priests presbyter. What the word priest comes from. Priest is a contraction of the word presbyter. It means elder. Okay. Some like it, some don't. But this guy, this monk, he said to me, he said, he had the South African accent, "Stop holding me presbyter. I am a friar." And I said, "But I thought friars get ordained to the priesthood." He said, "That is only the Jesuits."
Huh.
And I was corrected there. I've known plenty of Jesuits, actually, but I've never met a member of another order. And so he explained to me, "No, I'm not. I'm a friar. You know, great friar at the Waffle House."
Talk to me about your, this. So someone's correcting you in this way, and you're just there to learn about their deal. Is that right?
Totally.
Okay. Yeah. So you're like, you want to be respectful in this situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, he was a cool guy. Belcher Green Lantern. I've known plenty of Jesuits. I guess the closest, just to answer the earlier question, I have met like novice Jesuits, but they weren't called novices. They were just very early in the 11-year process to become a Jesuit.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Did you talk to them a lot about, like, why'd you get into this? Is it just like because it's the right thing to do, or what? I mean, what motivates someone to start an 11-year program?
Gosh knows. I don't, because it's not my friar's ball sack. It's not from my culture. You know, I didn't even grow up religious, religious. I didn't even grow up in any kind of
in religio.
Certainly not in religio. I don't ask that one. I just, because I'm sure they get asked that a lot, especially the ones who are expected to be celibate. They get asked, "Why would you do that to yourself?" And that sort of thing.
Would you say that let's talk about like a high level religio person, someone who holds position up top the religio tree.
Yeah.
Do you think that they what was that?
Like the abbot, I think they would be called in some communities.
Sure. We're talking up there. Do you think that they're, are they more defined by their duties, their position in the community, or are they more defined by the asceticism and the abstaining from normal human life? I mean, really, this depends on the religio in question.
It's a really good question, Chopo. Actually, I need to actually look this up, because that's the kind of the great irony of these monastic communities. And I'm talking for both, monks and nuns.
Yeah.
Where on the one hand, they're supposed to be abstaining from the world.
Right.
And yet they gain all this authority and power as they go up the hierarchy. Now, even the word hierarchy is literally a word. I mean, higher means, like higher is like priests, Greek word for priest, and holy. Arche is ruler. So literally priest rulers is what hierarchy means. It's inherently religious, for lack of a better term, words. So you gain all this hierarchical authority, and then also, because I have actually read up a bit on monastic type stuff. Everyone in the community is expected to be obedient. There's a lot of talk about the virtue of obedience to authority.
Yeah. I mean, there's this kind of like, I like the idea of somebody who just kind of like somebody who holds it down, You know,
Mm-hmm.
someone who's like, no, I'm not going to pursue a marriage and a family. I'm not going to pursue wealth. I'm going to be focused on the inner world, the inner explanation, exploration. I'm going to be focused on whatever it may be for that thing. Maybe it's not attached to a moral value system, but if it is, then so be it. And I like the idea of going somewhere and talking to somebody who's not concerned with their job, or they're like having a career, and oh no, I'm trying, I gotta, the concerns that most of us have, and it's fine that we have them. But I like the idea of going and talking to somebody who is not doing that and sort of has a different set of priorities. Just to kind of reset that. I mean, I have friends like this that I can talk to them, and what they're doing with their lives is completely different than what I'm doing, and it's nice. You get like that little reset. Where can I find a bad habit? But I'm not totally sure that that's what it is all the time.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because, those monasteries accumulated so much wealth.
Yeah.
And that's another one of the great ironies. Monasteries and convents were, I mean, I guess to some degree, as far as they still exist, because they do still exist, still are very opulent places. They certainly were very opulent places. So, yeah, it's that paradox. And Christianity is not the only religion with monastics like this. Buddhism has a very similar thing where, monks over the millennia have accrued a lot of wealth and political power.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, that's sort of I don't know, maybe it's unavoidable a little bit. How long can you refrain from normal human stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Why should that be it's not, I don't frown upon it, but it's just, every once in a while I need a little reset. And there's ways to sometimes you come in contact with that in an uncomfortable way. Sometimes you come in contact with it in a comfortable way, but something that wakes you up a little bit and reminds you that the things that your endeavors are not as important as maybe you think, or that just give you a little perspective shift. Drugs can do it. A car accident can do it. There's different ways to.
I hope you're not in I hope you haven't been in a car accident lately.
Not recently. Earlier this year,
okay.
But.
I know, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't good, but. It's just. I do wonder about that, and since you're interfacing with people in religio, I just wondered if you have noticed that there's a defined set of motivating forces for people who get into it, or if it's kind of all different kinds of folks.
Oh, yeah, people are quite diverse that way. I mean, in the old days, your family would often send you into these environments if they felt it was politically or financially a good idea. I mean, now they talk about having like some kind of personal conviction or personal calling to do these things. But yeah, now just to go back to what you were saying, you want to reset. Like, how much of a reset? Like you just said, like maybe do some psychedelics. But like how, like on a scale of doing psychedelics for a day to a Vipassana retreat,
every day,
like how much of a
I smoke
reset
marijuana.
Are you looking
every
for?
Day, twice?
I don't know. I don't know that I'm actively seeking it now, but I find it helpful when it does happen. And I do. I mean, psychedelics can provide that. I mean, I've more been doing the lighter doses of that in my adult life, because I feel like really blasting off is quite a bit of work emotionally, and I'm a bit like, I don't know when I'm up for that. But so I think it's nice. My preference is honestly just talking to somebody who's really got just a different thing going on from me. Usually, I liked when my grandma was living. I didn't call her a lot, but sometimes I would call her and I would mention things, and she would say just very simple, wise things. I would talk about something somebody was doing, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird that they do that, and she'd be like, well, they probably like it, and they just want to be happy. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a fucking great point. And I think, yeah, talking to older people sometimes can be good, but then sometimes older people are so stuck in their little thing too that they're sometimes not the wisest. Not everybody that gets old gets wise, that happens. But yeah, I don't know.
Sadly true.
Yeah, I mean, what's your aspiration? Are you trying to get into religio, or are you just like reading about it and participating?
No. In fact, actually, I think you'll appreciate this, and the tribe will appreciate this. I'm like getting angrier and angrier with the Anglican Church, and I'm just ready to be done. I'm probably going to look into. I'm applying for a professorship right now, and if I don't get that, I'm gonna maybe looking at even being a high school teacher.
I gotcha.
Found out that British Columbia is the shortest teaching degree programs in Canada, apparently only 11 months, so I'm going to apply for that for next year. And yeah, I mean, it's angry theologian, yes, Eldritch.
What soured your milk on the Anglicans?
Oh gosh, it's such a story. It's just, well, I guess it's kind of the themes we're talking about, when an organization is, clearly just people enjoying having power and being jerks, and yes, Grimothy and the Anglicans have a beef. So, and also, I mean, their biggest crime right now is the fact that I have to take this stupid Tuesday night class from 7 to 9 East Coast time. It's taught by the college principal, and I'm missing the tribe. I mean, I wish there were hoods, Briny Gee. So I'm like missing the tribe because I have to take this stupid class. And it's just,
fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them. The good side, sinful. Thank you, Pop-Tart. The one good side of all this is that I am studying a lot of biblical Hebrew, so I can be the ultimate Kabbalist.
That's fun. That's I mean, what's your? You've been into all this stuff for a long time. Is it? I mean, do you believe in a God of some sort, or do you like is it more? I've often said that when you study religion, you're studying history, you're studying psychology, you're studying art. That's why I like it. But is it a personal thing for you, or is it just an interest, sort of an external?
Column A and column B, I suppose. I mean, because my doctorate was from the religious studies department, and even though I did philosophy, and religious studies is the secular study of religion as a human phenomena.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Then theology is the study of one's own tradition from within.
Okay. Yeah.
Ideally, I mean, I guess you can go to a theology school if you're not of that belief or persuasion, but you probably, I guess it's meant for people who are inside, whether religious studies is the outside study of the human phenomena.
Gotcha.
So I, it's like the Mystic Theurge class from Dungeons and Dragons. You got arcane magic, you got divine magic.
I see.
Both, man.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's fun. I mean, it's I'm super interested in that stuff as well. And
Well, yeah,
it's
and I mean, I think about you and your brother a lot because you grew up in a non-religious family, but surrounded by cults.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that seems to have really, informed your outlook on things, which makes sense. I mean,
Yeah, I think that I mean, our parents were very like, they weren't keeping anything from us. They weren't, I remember, I mean, I kind of don't remember this, but my mom told me about it that maybe me or my brother had asked when we were real young, I was maybe like 3 or 4, what church is like, because we knew that people went to church. So my mom took us to church, and we hated it. And that was that, but she was up for it, like, yeah, whatever you want to do, that's fine. But yeah, when you're younger and there's a lot of religious stuff around you that isn't typical, it's just really fun. And then I had a phase, maybe I'm still kind of in the phase of just kind of wanting to get to the bottom of stuff, like what is all right, what is going on, and exploring different religions and philosophies in that way, and just kind of trying to figure it out. I don't know, which is not a total fool's errand, but you learn a lot. You become a better person when you do that, for sure. But you don't. I have found that it's nobody really knows. You're not going to find a definitive answer of how you should perceive the universe and life or even how you should behave. But I mean, you get closer. You get closer when you look for that, but you don't, there's no easy way. You can submit to something if you want to, but then, there's problems with that too.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, one thing that stuck with me that I remember you said a while ago is, that when you were younger, you had a podcast, and you interviewed all these people, especially a lot of the Shasta type people.
Yeah.
And you kind of, I mean, and forgive me if I'm putting words in your mouth, but what I remember you saying was you realized that basically it was all a load of crap. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of that, like, I think that I was speaking to a lot of unreliable narrators. Yeah, and then a lot of people who are just like mentally ill. Yeah, that is what I found. But then there's, I mean, I'm still earlier today I was listening to a podcast with like a Zen teacher, and I like that stuff a lot. I'm getting kind of into like secular Buddhism in like the past year or so, which is fun, but not like not seriously into it, but that's every once in a while I'm dipping into that, which is fun. I do.
Gravy says, I think worshiping the yoni and the lingam is the purest form of worship. Namaste.
Sorry,
continue.
We can all say namaste to that. But I almost look at that more as just like a philosophy that I think is pretty healthy, just thinking about your perception in that way, and it's a lot of being conscious that your life is temporary and it's short, and it's a lot of a healthy amount of detachment from feelings, but you're not denying them, but you're just like, that's a feeling. That's not, I don't need to be defined by that. And so I like that. Samsara, yeah, we got Alan Watts in the chat. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I kind of just think that that's healthy, and I think that that's, that was in any kind of religious or spiritual epiphany I've had really was based on the fact that, like, my personality and identity is kind of just something I've made up, and I don't really need to defend it. I don't need to take it too seriously. And that in moments where you can kind of put that down for a second, that's it's a really good thing to do, and it's fun to be with other people who don't take themselves seriously in that way. So it's like, yeah, just don't worry about that so much. Don't worry about this idea of yourself as much. And so I think I like getting into that. That's more of the thing for me. But
the idea of Ann Ottman or Ann Chopo, there is no self, there is no Chopo.
Exactly.
Even though there really is Chopo. Ultimately, there is Chopo.
Ultimately, there is. But it's but it's good to take a step back and view it from a little bit further away sometimes, or to know that it changes all the time, and that it's not. If it can die and I'll go on living, is another point about that too. Your personality, your identity, it can go away and turn into something else, and you're still here. It's okay.
The idea that what reincarnates is not like your soul or a soul, because there's no self in Buddhist philosophy, but rather a collection of habits. And a collection of habits and a personality, an ego and personality that really aren't you. They're just kind of this thing that keeps reincarnating.
Yeah, I mean, I have trouble with the reincarnation stuff at all. I don't really know if that's what's going on. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know, but I do think it's funny that to think about me and my personage going on after my body is dead. I think that's kind of funny. I think that if any part of me did go on, I don't think it would have my preferences, or my idea, because I kind of think that a lot of that is in my brain.
In about 100 years, there'll be a child born who will be saying Slimer.
Talking about Kim, Jim, and Weimer. Yeah. I like Eldridge Gravy says, I keep wondering if hedonism can be a faith system. I think originally it wasn't it? Wasn't it, or like a?
It kind of was. Epicureanism was more of a kind of a philosophy, faith system.
Yeah.
Whereas hedonism was seen as more extreme.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I think anything could be a faith system, but I think that hedonism wouldn't be my first choice. Because I'm already on that hedonic treadmill for part of the day, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I feel you there.
When I'm thinking about breakfast, that's sort of it's like, well, yeah, I want an egg sandwich with pesto. Now I need coffee. Now I need to drink some water. Now I need, it starts pretty early in my day.
I feel, I wake up hungry and I go over and make tea and breakfast, and that's like the first thing I do before I do anything else. We get ingrained in these habits.
But I guess like seeking extreme pleasure as a faith system, I don't think that would be for me either. I don't know. I don't think that that's necessarily wrong, but I think that you would maybe get like, I'd be disappointed. I think I'd be disappointed because so often things don't work out.
Yeah, I agree with you there, unfortunately.
Like if you're just like planning orgies or whatever, like a lot of the time that's probably not going to go how you want it to go.
Oh, no, I would not imagine that would. Unfortunately,
just the logistics.
Maybe we can practice with a tribe orgy and see how well that goes, but probably not. It's probably not a good idea.
You might not. It just might not be as good as you think it's going to be, and then you're kind of like, well, You know, or then you just, I mean, the easiest path to like an extreme pleasure would be drugs, you know.
Yeah.
And that, I think you're, again, probably going to, eventually going to have a bad time if that's your whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you could do it. You could do it though.
You could. So my question to you, Chopo, if you had to choose one religion or esoteric society, I'll include secret societies and esotericism as options. Which would you join?
That's tough. That's a tough one. I think it's going to depend a lot on the individuals that I am, you know, hanging out with a lot. Obviously, yeah, I'm into the Buddhism lately. It's tough, man. I went to the Bhakti Center in Portland and I chanted with the Hare Krishnas.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it wasn't for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite.
They make you hold the seed there.
They make you hold the seed. I didn't even know that.
No.
I just got kind of a weird vibe from it. What would be the most fun? What would be the most fun? I think maybe... Dude, that's tough. That's tough. Za. Maybe the, Unarians. They seem cool.
There you go. The Unarians. They're pretty cool. Unfortunately, they had that failed end times prediction that apparently sunk them. But, if you just forget about that one part...
Yeah.
Unarians.
Yeah, that's
Is Unarians at Shasta? Or was it?
As far as I know, they're based in Southern California.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I did not know the specifics. I just know there's a lot of cults up at Shasta.
There's a few going on. I mean, there's always more. There's always more.
The one that gets me is the Israeli woman who visited Shasta, went back to Israel, and started a Saint Germain Violet Flame Shasta cult in Israel.
Yeah, we've come across some of those YouTube videos. I don't know if we've ever really...
I learned about it from the tribe.
Yeah, that is weird. There's a whole, like, Telos Lemuria thing going on somewhere in South America, too, that I should look into it more. It's just I watch the videos and they're in Spanish, and my Spanish isn't good. I took, 2 years in high school. But, yeah, it definitely has spread.
And what's the point of having such a cult if you're not at Shasta? That's what gets me. Why would you live somewhere else and have a religion where your holy land is this mountain in Northern California?
It is funny. I mean, I guess I mean, this is kind of a cynical thing, but I think it's just a setup for, people to pay to do tours there. We'll go there with you.
Who benefit? Is Shasta purposefully creating cults for the sake of tourism?
I think it's more the thing, there are people in America who do this a lot, where they're like, I'm gonna take a group of 30 people to Egypt and I'm gonna lead a tour, and I know whatever the meditations or the rituals to do when we get there, and I'm gonna show you all the cool alien shit. There's Americans who do that with trips to Egypt and other places, like trips to Peru and shit. So I kind of think that that's what's going on there, is I'm doing a retreat in Shasta, and you got to pay me and I set everything up. Yeah, it's just being like a travel agent basically, but religious.
Spiritual travel agent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a weird, interesting thing. I used to check the outside of the Unarius building out when I would go and get tested for COVID at the former tax accessor or whatever building on the opposite corner. Yeah, I don't know if they're still going. I just love their video content. I like the Unarians. And their whole thing about, you make art. That's what you do. You just this is the spiritual practice, is just creating art. I could get down with that. That would be cool.
You do far worse things for sure.
You could. And that's, whatever. It's like about aliens and shit, but it's like, all right, fine. Sounds fun. I got no issues there. All right, I think I'm going to blast out.
Mm-hmm.
Been good to talk to you.
Oh, it's always sublime to talk to you, Chopo Mine Chopo.
I love checking in with your religious journey.
It's a goofy one, and I appreciate the support of Ponus as well.
Absolutely. We're all cheering you on.
Oh, thank you. Boys.
Wow. What a nice long call that was. I'm not going to do a patron stream, I guess. I didn't really have much more to show. I had I can just show you this while we're all still here.
Today we're going to talk about spiritual warfare.
Spiritual warfare.
Because that's what I'm going through right now. And it ain't even light either. It's not at all. I'm getting attacked every second of the day now. And it's not just because I'm on semen retention, it's because the knowledge that I seek.
I'm being attacked every day, and it's not just because I'm on semen retention.
It's the knowledge that I seek and the knowledge that I got in my head. It gotta be. Because whenever you attract good to you, they forget to tell you. You also attract bad to you also. Like when you attract success, you also gonna attract envy.
Yeah.
Hatred.
Well, okay.
Jealousy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of negative things, And it's like the more I progress, them other energy trying to catch up.
Yeah. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Good work, dude, sneezing into your elbow, my friend. I respect that. You see somebody sneeze into your elbow, you think that's good. That's the way you should do that. I think that's good. I'm gonna blast out, everybody, but it's been fun hanging out. Thank you for coming back to my yurt. You're the best. What can I say? You're just the best, okay? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me yet another week. Just yet another week. Yeah. Hey.